Hi, everybody. It is October 29, 2019. I feel like just yesterday I said, oh my God, it's October 1st already. Well, October 29, just in, posted about an hour ago. Kincaid fire, more evacuations, power shutoffs loom as winds threaten to fuel massive blaze. Okay, here we go. Update. Everything will be linked to below. If you want to read the full articles, just click on the link. Thousands of Northern California residents are struggling in the dark. Many have been struggling in the dark for days. Okay, 2 million people and more shutoffs coming. More shutoffs coming. Evacuations ordered for nearly 200,000 just in Sonoma County. It was due to the explosive Kincaid fire, which is only 15% contained. It's burned 75,415 acres. And interesting, the LA Times has 57 homes burned, and other articles are saying 86. That's a big difference. And this was posted just under an hour ago. So, there's a discrepancy. Wonder why. But at least a dozen more homes burned in the past day. Okay. Today's a transition day. If we are looking good as far as fire growth this time tomorrow morning, I feel like the cautious optimism will be solidified. If we're not, if we have explosive growth tonight, we have our work cut out for us. So that leaves all of you in this area scratching your head and still hanging out in a shelter or sitting in your car. Yeah. Well, they are expecting incredible winds, historic winds, extreme winds. Fire conditions near LA prompt the National Weather Service to issue its first ever extreme red flag warning. Extreme. The National Weather Service in Los Angeles does not want Southern California residents to overlook extreme. This is not just another red flag warning for all, by the way, all of Southern California are under a red flag warning. I know from a subscriber that I spoke to who lives very close to the Oregon border in Northern California. She got an alert yesterday. Red flag warning, possible power shutoffs. But all of Southern California now, red flag warning, everything's ripe for fire. Extreme red flag warning. First time ever. National Weather Service issues extreme. So they don't want you to overlook extreme. Nothing like keeping that PTSD going. Residents in high fire risk areas should be ready and set to evacuate. All of you in Southern California. All of you. Because the entire Southern California is under that extreme red flag warning. So all of you be ready to evacuate. Oh, it's not a grade or a score for the National Weather Service. They just want to get your attention because it's been a very long dry spell. No rain in sight. And do they ever mention anything about weather modification? No. So, yeah, this is going to be going on at least another 2 days for you guys. Tomorrow and Thursday. Okay, list of power cutoffs in SoCal. SoCal. Yes, extreme winds.
Mandula, and we are going to be dealing with another round of strong Santa Ana winds, and this time we could see gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So that makes it the strongest round of the season. All of Southern California will be under a red flag warning again starting tonight at 11, and this will last through Thursday evening as those wind gusts happen through our passes and canyons. So notice those typical wind-prone spots when we get those northeast winds. Going to see those wind gusts again. Well,
let me just show you something that I noticed. You got a whole lot of microwaves. And these microwaves, well, they're kind of pushing air masses. Southern California. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You have microwaves coming in, microwaves going up. Geez, could they be, I don't know, creating those winds? Look at this. Unbelievable. I mean, the signatures of man's hand couldn't be more blatant. Look at Northern California, and this is approximately where the fire is in Sonoma County. Wow. So you've got air masses colliding. And you also have microwaves happening. Yeah. Couldn't be more clear. Funny how meteorologists never ever, take a look, okay, it seems pretty clear, right? Look at these microwaves. Look at the microwaves in Arizona and New Mexico. And right on up into Southern California. Okay, so they're claiming that there's an awful lot. I mean, it's been dry, right? It looks like fires in Arizona. Or, I don't know, moving hot spots. Let me see if, well, it's a little bit later now. Actually, I'll just take you to, this is what I captured at, it was 8 o'clock? No, I'm sorry, it was at 8:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that was at 5, just about 6 p.m. for you guys in California. Now, what is this? These are air masses that, well, the colors are, they determine whether or not the air mass is warm and dry or cold and dry. And I find it very interesting that at about 6 p.m., when they're talking dry, extreme red flag warnings because the conditions, well, it's been dry for a long time. Okay, do you notice that California has a whole lot of green color? What's green? Warm, moist. Warm, moist air masses. Okay. But it's dry. Well, they can zap the humidity right smack out of the air and leave you with a whole lot of dry conditions. Maybe that's why we're seeing a whole lot of microwaves. And you see, you got all of these microwaves in all of Southern California. It's happening. And geez, all of Southern California has that extreme red flag warning. But you don't have it all over Northern California. You do have it where the Kincaid Fire is, and where the red flag warnings are up here closer to the Oregon border. But no microwaves out here. Well, some. Faint. But as you can see, this is what you should be looking at as opposed to this. This is man's hand in air masses. Let's just look at College of DuPage just for a second, just to see. Well, let's go to University of Wisconsin. You've got Doppler radar pulsing. You did have earlier extremely low frequencies, which I don't see very often up here in Northern California. Okay. College of DuPage. Here is a satellite view, which doesn't really show us much. Oh yeah, College of DuPage really picks up a whole lot more signatures than the other radar site. So yeah, not only do you have microwaves, you also have the high frequencies coming out of Doppler radar. You also have the extremely low frequencies. What are they going to be? Wow, look at that. Now you've got extreme pulses right there, which is, well, where's that fire? I think somewhere right around here. Yeah, very powerful pulses. Now, you're not going to hear mainstream media ever talk about how man is controlling weather. So Eureka, here we go again. Eureka, California, their Doppler radar has been on, well, every single time I tune into these radar sites. There's Eureka, a sustained high frequency along with the extremely low frequencies. That's Doppler radar right across the border in Oregon. Very powerful pulses. The extremely low frequencies you can see right here, which are the very sharply defined lines. And here we go again. I've said this before in videos. What is this signature? I'm not entirely sure, but it's still blasting away. Isn't it interesting? I've never seen this before. I've only seen it throughout the Kincaid Fire, and it's still going. And this is Doppler radar. See the little blue light flash? That's the center of radar. Okay. A different frequency, a different power level, how they, all of the machinations that they go through to create these, air masses that are colliding and going in every other direction, and getting them to speed up. What frequencies they use, what power levels they use, that I don't know, but I can tell you they can do it. And yeah, do I sound a little, kind of pissy? I am. You know, I'm not even there, you know, having my power cut off. It pisses me off that they're doing this. There is a ripple effect, guys. What happens to somebody else, there's a ripple effect. It, you know, and this, what we are living now, there is so much going on, guys. So much. You know, look at this air mass coming in. And then you have air masses. They're colliding right where the fire is. Right in Sonoma County. And you can see all the microwaves, the ripples that are, well, Mother Nature must be quite extraordinary, considering that she can make these ripples that are very evenly spaced. What is going on down here in New Mexico and Arizona, I do not know. I mean, it's a wow. I mean, they're not hiding anything. Look at this mess. Look at these microwaves. And yeah, it's not microwaves that they're shooting off in one direction. They're shooting these things off all over. You see this air mass up here, it's almost like it's being split right here. And one air mass is going up northeast. Another air mass is, well, it's kind of going off to the west, but also kind of being directed into Southern California. But you've got a lot of collisions going on right here. Why is this important? It's important because they can cause a tremendous amount of destruction. Look at all the microwaves right here. So yeah, we are living something that is unprecedented, to say the least. And you know what is really disturbing? Let me just I wanted to check the fire, but can't. Okay. So this is the Kincaid fire. And interesting is that that's the only fire that I can see. I can't see, you know, what happened to the Getty fire. Did they just put that out? Also, trying to find out updates on these fires, it is not fun. It is really hard. So I don't see any fires going, except for the Kincaid fire. And there seems to be a burst happening, like a pulse. There's a pulse. There's a pulsating frequency that seems to be disturbing the fire. They sure are creating a lot of instabilities. Look at this. Okay. Any of you in this area experiencing tremendously high winds? It is 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it's 7:39 p.m. your time. Are you experiencing really bad winds? No. I just want to play this
Now at 11, get ready. It could soon be lights out for parts of Southern California. In just about an hour, SoCal Edison could decide to pull the plug on power to your home to help prevent wildfires. Strong Santa Ana winds plus fire danger could be a recipe for disaster.
NBC4's Kim Tobin is live in Sylmar tonight with details about the 200,000 customers who could be affected.
And Robert and Colleen, this is all over Southern California here. No winds just yet. Fritz Coleman is tracking when things will really start picking up. And tonight at midnight, that's when SoCal Edison will also be monitoring the weather, ready to turn off the power to keep people safe if needed. A calm night in Sylmar, but strong Santa Ana winds are expected to move in.
You can hear them, you can feel them.
It's loud and things move that you weren't expecting to move, so...
Yeah, you hear the homes like rumbling.
With the heightened threat of wildfires, Southern California Edison is taking precautions, alerting nearly 200,000 customers there could be possible public safety power shutoffs.
It's always a pain in the butt when they turn off your electricity because not only do you not have light, but then your refrigerator and things don't work.
SoCal Edison says several cities and towns in LA County, San Bernardino County, Riverside County, and Orange County could be impacted.
I'd rather be surprised by that than a fire.
The Sylmar area especially on edge after the 2017 Creek Fire burned 15,000 acres and destroyed several homes.
You can see the flames. I know my dad stayed home to put water on the roof just to make sure that it wouldn't burn our house down.
Many people now trying to plan ahead and prepare for power outages.
All right. I would like to, understand. Here are all of the areas that you may have your power turned off in Southern California. Okay. Well, if all of Southern California is under that red flag warning, why aren't they shutting off the power all over Southern California? And isn't it interesting that, we've got electric lines, power lines all over the country. There are many areas in this country, South Carolina, Georgia. Oh, I can name several states that are dry, very little rain. Oh, and we get wind here. But why don't we have our power shut off? I mean, if it's really a safety issue, then they should be doing this all over the country, wherever it's dry and wind. You got wind. And why aren't power lines coming down, causing these kinds of fires that we see in California? Why? How is it just happening in California? Is something wrong there? Yeah. Ooh, people need to ask questions. So here, the Getty Fire.
And tonight and the evacuations, but let me turn it over to Ralph Terrasas, the chief of our Los Angeles Fire Department, to say a couple words. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start off by saying thank you to our hardworking arson investigators who have been working tirelessly since the early morning hours of Monday, almost 36 hours ago. We've never put out a cause this quickly before in a major brush fire incident. I have viewed the video, as the mayor stated, the same video that he saw, I saw. I've seen multiple photographs from multiple angles. I still had some unknown questions for our arson investigators. They've been drilling down on those questions. They've answered everything that I've been concerned about, except for one thing. That's the land on which the tree sits. That's still being investigated, but we didn't want to hold up giving you an answer.
All right. So, oh, wow. Okay. They're coming out with a possible cause of the Getty Fire. Oh, because somebody was driving by and saw what this guy referred to as a explosion. And I guess she called 911. And the explosion was apparently, let's see, I had it open, hang on. Here is the video the arson investigators looked at. Oh, okay. So they think that caused the Getty fire. Let's watch that again. Wow. Sparking? Well, yeah, apparently they think this was the culprit. A branch broke off during the high winds, sparked a power line that caused the Getty fire. Okay. All right. Here it is. That's the dastardly tree branch. So, high winds, branches break off of trees. You have an extreme red flag warning. Why then is Southern California Edison only shutting off power to select areas and not all areas? Okay, this just in 2 minutes ago on Twitter. I hope the fire county sees this. Hopefully it's just embers being blown back on burnt ground, but this doesn't look good. No, doesn't look good. What's exploding here? Well, apparently this is in Middletown or Lake County, Santa Rosa fire, Calistoga. Not sure where this is. Here, that's bright. Okay, another person posted exactly, the same thing. Taken from the Cobb Mountain and Barnham North wildfire cameras. Okay. More fires coming up? Perhaps. Okay, this is Twitter. I will link below to everything. This is the correct spelling of Kincaid. There's also another Twitter page with a different kind of spelling, but here. Twitter page for the Kincaid fire pets. All of these pets have been found without their owners or owners posting pictures because they've been separated from their pets, and it's not just humans who are traumatized. Man, I can't stand it. So this is the other Kincaid spelling. But here, as I go through these tweets and I'm reading them, what do I see? Climate change, people, talking, this is climate change. Read some about price gouging. Read very little of tweets that are similar to Grace Ocean, and I want to thank Grace Ocean for writing, "Learn from Canada that climate hoax is real. Incompetent governors say anything they want. It don't make it true." Remember when Justin Trudeau and Catherine McKenna blamed climate change for the wildfires out west? The RC, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, is that it? I think that's right. Revealed that the wildfires were caused by arson, not climate change. Okay. Extinction Rebellion is on it, though. 200,000 people are evacuated. Power is being regularly cut off for days, and the Getty fire in Los Angeles is right at the edge of the city. This isn't even being talked about in Australia, even though conditions are very similar. You're on it. Good for you. And $172 new results. 86 homes destroyed, and Kincaid Fire is now the biggest California wildfire. Okay. Well, I will link below to everything. I do want to say this. This is actually a very helpful prep list. Prepare these 6 Ps in case of any event, whether flooding or fire. People and pets, papers, important documents, prescriptions, photos, PC hard drives and disks, plastics, meaning credit and ATM cards, and cash. Yeah, very good. You know, 6 Ps. Remember these things when you have to evacuate.
This is what passed for activity on Chalk Hill Road in Sonoma County, where fire raged yesterday. It now feels eerily quiet. Mile after mile, smoldering landscape dotted with what had to be miracle stories. So many properties somehow saved. Those who live here will take it. Eventually, they'll get back home, but more red flags stand in the way.
Should anybody have to go through all this?
No, sir. No way. This is insanity.
We made it. For context, we checked in on Joel Chandler and his wife Tina, who live in Larkfield Estates, where hundreds of homes burned 2 years ago. They moved back just recently, only to be evacuated again. It's all too much, Tina told us. Everything about this, especially the smell of smoke.
The smell of smoke. It's making me nauseous.
That's a mental thing.
It's mental. It's post-traumatic stress. That so many of our neighbors and our friends, they only have it. It's a real thing.
It just feels like it's out of control. You know, it's like it just same thing keeps happening over and over again.
What do you say to make your husband feel better through all this?
Till death do us part.
You know, well, it keeps happening over and over again in the same areas. That needs to be questioned. Why is this not happening in other states around the country? What's going on here that it happens over and over again? You have never lived what you're living now. Why now? Really, you want to believe the horseshit that you're sold over and over again? Climate change? You will not look into weather modification. Then I come across these people who disgust, that they repulse me. They are so repulsive. And yes, Amy Goodman, Democracy Now! Is on it, fueled by climate change, California's raging wildfires. She never, ever interviews any of the, tens of thousands of scientists who have come out and said no to this climate change, global warming. No. They have come out and said the IPCC's data is just, it's a joke. It's, a high school student could do better. And here she is. Yes, that liberal queen. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. These people are disgusting. And then you have these people.
Hello, 7,000 Club. This is Bishop. Yes, I just could not rest until I address the fire situation in California. And you got to give the biblical answer as to what's going on. And I know that in this day, people don't like to talk about judgment. They don't like to talk about consequences. But the Word of God is right. And we're going to discuss what God is doing at this time. California is the most liberal state in the whole union. California. You got...
That's why you got the fires. You're a liberal state. Oh, and then he goes on to talk about those homosexuals in San Francisco. And, oh my God, I was walking down the street and I saw two men holding hands. And, oh my God, well, God, yes. Well, in some psalm, I guess, God is laughing. God is laughing. Why? Because God knows what the consequences will be. The destruction of these people. God's laughing. Wow. That's a real sweet, loving God, isn't it? You know, this religious crap. I'm sorry. Believe what you want to believe. But when you are not also facing reality, and you are not looking at the causes of these fires, and you're not doing any research on man's hand in these fires, you don't talk about climate change, the abject lie that man is bringing about all of these events, the directed energy weapons, the weather modification, the geoengineering, the substances that they use to spray the skies, incendiary substances that fall down on everything, that make these fires incredibly explosive. No, it's God doing this. Well, then why isn't God burning up San Francisco? Why is he burning up a whole lot of conservative areas? Unbelievable. The reason why I included this was it came up in my search of California fires. So you got these people who are just delusional. I'm sorry. And then you got these people who are psychopathic liars. And you wonder why we can't get anywhere. I will link below to everything. I am sorry that all of you have to deal with everything that you're dealing with in California. It's happening all over the world. It's happening with greater frequency and intensity because of these shitheads who get an awful lot of money, who get to live fabulous lives, who lie repeatedly about where their funding comes from. And they get funding from the CIA, George Soros. And you can't get people, they won't open their minds. You know, when they're stuck on something, that's the reason. Hello, it's God's wrath. No, it's climate change. And then you can't get people to open their minds, to question what is going on. Okay, guys, stay safe.